you like. Make it personal to you, however that is. Oh, that's so cute. I love his little hat. You could be painting your bunny in. So this is a pretty spring bunny, and I think that nice lighter, softer colors look really nice for spring pastel. As big or as small as you want it.
Hey, Nisi.
Hey, Rach.
Can you slow down a little bit?
Sure thing. Actually, I thought it was almost looking like a butterfly, but I thought it would be cool, and I had an apple today, so I saved the core.
That's great.
I wasn't sure if it would work or not, but I thought I'd give it a try.
Yeah, I really like that you're reusing the material that might not seem to have a purpose. It might have otherwise been thrown out.
Right. Well, hi, you guys. I'm Denyse with Artist at Heart. I'm so excited to be here with you today on our Amazon Prime exclusive shopping day. Are you ready to shop and paint with me? I put some really fun stuff in the carousel. If you guys are not on Amazon, you can watch me on Amazon at artistatheart.live. And I want to share with you one of my favorite paintings for summer. It's a really fun dandelion, blowflower, wishflower, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to do an up-close version of it today. I'm using this kit that I got. Really, really nice. It's on sale. Love it. I'll tell you more about it later. The colors are magnificent. So you guys, I am going to be using canvas, acrylic paints. I have a nice brush set here that has a variety of sizes. Also like 81% off today. Amazing. It comes in this little nice case that zips closed. So 15 paintbrushes, different sizes, really nice, convenient, easy to use. They're synthetic bristles. I'll tell you more about those later. So that is where you guys can watch me live on Amazon. And you guys, if you're not on Amazon, come on over to Amazon, because that way you can see all of the products that I'm using. I will have a carousel with all of the products in them, and lots of them have some really, really great deals today. So I know the Kale Art kit that has 24 colors has a great deal, and the brushes, again, 81%. Crazy Tuesday. Today's Tuesday, you guys. So yay, we'll be streaming today. We'll be streaming tomorrow. I'll share with you all the fun stuff that I use that I love so much. So I'm going to flip on the overhead camera so you guys can see my canvas from overhead. Can you see that? We'll make it big so you guys can see it larger. All right, there we go. Look at that. So here's my canvas, and you can still see me. We're working on this technology stuff. So again, I'm going to use acrylic paints, and I usually use a plate for my palette. Just easy cleanup, okay? Now, when you guys look at the paintbrushes, a flat paintbrush looks like a square. When it has a point to it, it's called round. So these do not have the sizes on them, so I won't even say I'm using a 0.5, but to me, it doesn't matter. And again, I work from the background to the foreground on this painting. So the background could be any color that you want it to be. I'm going to use just some pretty fun colors. This is cerulean blue. Again, I'm just going to kind of do X brush strokes, X. I'm going to use a little bit of white. I don't want it to get too light because I want the contrast with my flower to show on top of it. And I'm just going to spread the paint out. I really also love purple. So I have this pretty purple here that I used, and it looks really nice too when you mix it in with the blue. See that? See those pretty streaks of color? I like that. And again, I'm just going to keep mixing it together until I get my background covered. I want the paint to be thick enough that it covers the canvas. See those little speckles? That's the gesso, which is the primer on the canvas. So all these canvases are already primed for you. You don't have to prime them. And it really allows the paint to stick to it, and the colors will look beautiful. Acrylic paint dries pretty quick. Now this particular acrylic is definitely a heavy bodied, which means it's thicker. One coat is all you need. You do not need to have more than one coat. Some of the other acrylic paints are a little bit thinner in consistency. So there may be a medium bodied or a light bodied, and you need to add more layers of paint when you use that kind of acrylic. So look at how pretty that is. I love this purple. So again, you can make it as dark or as light as you want. I would lighten up that purple by adding more white to it, maybe in certain areas. I'll have it a little bit later. But again, I want the contrast of the flower to show up on my background. So on this particular painting, I want my background to be a little bit darker. You could even use black, and I'll show you how to do that later. It's really cool. So if you've never created on a black background, it's really fun. But I also really like starting with a plain white canvas. Again, I'm using the same paintbrush, and I just keep adding the paint to it. And your brush strokes, that's what makes this painting interesting. To see all the brush strokes and the combination of colors. I'm going to put a little bit more blue. So this blue is called cerulean blue. I'm using white. You could put green in there if you want. I have some green in my other one, so I should probably put a little bit of green in here. I'm not even going to wash off my brush. Let's see what happens if I just scoop up some of that. See that? And then I'm just going to actually mix it right on the canvas. Maybe put a little bit over here. I don't want my paint to be too thick because I want it to dry quick. You are welcome, of course, to layer it or make it as thick as you want. It can be chunky and thick like Van Gogh did. But the reason why I'm not going to do that is it's going to take a long time to dry. And I want to make this a quick and simple painting so you guys can enjoy it. I'm going to move my bottle of paint over a little bit so I can get the edge. This is a really pretty color. This is called Viridian, and it's almost like a turquoise blue-green. Really pretty for summer. It doesn't matter what you put on top of it. Make it your own. It doesn't have to be a dandelion. The background is super fun because you're just painting, relaxing. I really think painting's really therapeutic and fun. And you just use your favorite colors and mix them together. I'm gonna move this paint so I can see the edge of my canvas a little. I wanted you guys to see the colors that I was using. Put it over here so you can see. So I'm using purple. You still can't see it, but it's the purple, Viridian, cerulean blue, and the white. That's what I'm using so far. But again, I want you guys to use your favorite colors. You don't have to use my favorite colors. I'm going for a very fresh, summery style background there. And then once you get the background to where you like it, leave it alone for a couple minutes. Okay, we're going to let it dry for like a couple minutes. So real quick, while it's drying, what I want to do is, I was just talking to you, so I'm going to set this aside for a minute, and I'm going to share with you, you can do this on black canvas, you could do this on a black paper. So this is mixed media black paper, really, really fun to paint on. So here's my tablecloth. You guys should have a paint tablecloth for sure, just so you can be messy. All right, so look at my spirals coming a little. I'm gonna put that off. There you go. Okay, so you guys watch how fun it is to paint on black. Are you ready? Let me wash off my brush a little bit. This one I'm gonna use a round paintbrush. You see that? So it's got a point to the tip, and I'm gonna use the white acrylic paint. And so I'm going to start with an oval here like this. I'm going to fill in my oval a little bit. Isn't that nice? Just how fun it is to paint on black. It's just, that's what you call contrast, you guys. It's about as bold as you can get with contrast. So this is what I'm going to be. This is almost like practice for me because I'm going to be doing this on top of my canvas that I just did. But I love this black pad. So now I'm just going to do some wispy lines coming up from that oval like that. Just little brush strokes. And I'm going to have it go all the way around. They could be different length, different sizes. You could overlap them. We're not going for perfect art here, you guys. We're going for fun art, not fine art. Okay. So fun art. See that? All those little wispy lines there. And again, they could be thicker, thinner. Overlap. The more lines you put, the fluffier your flower is going to look. Just really fun. You can always add a stem to it. So that is to show you how thick and covering this acrylic paint is. Painting white on black, and it one coat, it covers it, right? So I'm going to make these a little longer over here. Now, if you really want to be perfect, you can always take a pencil and trace a circle on it first so that you get a nice circle instead of just freehanding it like I'm doing. So I'm just going to make those little wisps come out a little bit more. See that? Isn't that fun? You could do the whole thing in black and white. So now I feel like this side's a little thinner, so I'm going to thicken it up. Okay, so after you get enough wispy lines in there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the other end of my paintbrush. So I'm going to flip it over to the handle, and I'm going to dip it in my white paint, and I'm going to dot. So I'm going to dip and dot. Dip and dot, dip and dot. And they don't have to be perfect. Don't worry if it's not perfect. And now it's starting to look like a wish flower or a dandelion. I like to call them wish flowers. It's fun. And you can make a wish. You can make a wish while I'm painting it. So again, I'm using acrylic paint, really nice coverage. This is on the black sketchbook, but you can use black canvas as well. And you want to put the dots inside too. You don't want them just to be around the edge. I'm just overlapping them, and you don't want it to look like a pattern. So this is an organic flower. You want it to be natural. So it should not be too symmetrical. It should not be too perfect. See that? It's starting to come together, right? So see here how that looks like a row? That's what I don't want. I don't want it to look like a row like that because that does not look natural. I'm going to kind of break it up a little bit. Doesn't that look better with a few more dots in there? Here, I'm going to put some dots. Trust me, I really think you're going to like creating on black. It's really fun. You can do an entire series of white acrylic paint with black background. So this was just to give you a little bit of an idea. And it gave me time to practice the flower. What do you think? Okay, now I'm getting a little lopsided. So I can just kind of go back around to make it more circular. And again, I need a lot more dots. So just again, the dotting takes a while, right? But I just wanted you guys to see how nice it looks on black. You could always, again, do the whole circle first and then fill it in. Because it does take a little time. I find it really relaxing, just like how people do coloring pages or doodles. This would be like that. You just kind of dip and dot and relax. Enjoy the process. I like to say it's more about the process than the product. And the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. There you go. I still think it needs more dots, but it's probably not as relaxing to watch me dot as it is for me to be sitting here dotting these. It's really fun. Dip and dot, dip and dot, dip and dot. And especially anywhere you have like a big gap with black, you want to fill it in. But you get the idea, right? That's what I wanted you guys to get the idea. And just so you can see, I'm just going to take real quick, I'll put a little color on here. Let's see, just so you can see how the color shows up too. See that? How pretty that is? And you could always paint the rest of it too, but it just, again, it colors beautifully. It's very opaque, which means really covering, not transparent at all, and covers right over black. How pretty is that? All right, you get the idea. That's what I wanted you guys to see. So let's set that aside. Let's go back to the canvas. All right, so now it's dry, you guys. That dried really quick, right? So acrylic paint dries really, really quick. So now I'm gonna, real quick, where I can't, I'm gonna fill this edge. I like when my edges are painted too. I don't want it to be white there. Same thing here. Put a little bit more in there. Kind of blend it in a little bit. All right, there. Now I'm going to do the white flower again. Are you ready? Same thing. I'm going to take that brown paintbrush, put some white on it. I'm going to do my oval. I'll do it this way. So kind of sketch out your oval. Fill it in. And it's okay if the paint comes through. If it's still wet, I think it'll look cool. You can also add some color to it if your paint is completely dry. I like it not being stark white. I like when some of the colors get mixed into it. I'm just painting in that oval direction so that the brush strokes look like an oval. Nice. It almost looks kind of gray, right? Now I'm going to do the same thing. And you guys can, again, you can switch to a different brush if you want to. I even have, this is a small round brush, but there's bigger ones too. So if I wanted to go to a bigger one, I could, but I'm going to stick with the small one because I want wispy little lines. And again, they're just kind of, think of them like little lines, all different lanes. And again, if it makes you feel better to trace out the circle, and they're coming from the oval and go all the way around. The harder you press, the wider your line's going to be. The gentler you are, the thinner your line's going to be. See that? All the way around. And then again, you can put more in there. So the more lines you add, the wispier it's going to look. And they don't even have to touch. You could just have them in between. You can have them go all the way off the page if you want. See that? Make them bigger, longer. Do you like it bigger where it goes right off the page? Or do you like them short? I like it going off the page. It's like an abstract painting, but you can tell it's a dandelion. So I just got a big blob of white there. Did you see that? So I tell people all the time, no one knows your mistakes but you and whoever you tell, especially with acrylic paint. You guys would never know that I just made an accident there. A happy little accident. I just blended it right in. No one knows. Shh, don't tell anybody. It's our secret, right? So again, just keep going, keep going. No one's going to know. Especially when someone's new at painting and then they do something and it didn't come out the way that they expected. It's okay. No one knows. Maybe you had a certain intention and it didn't come out that way. And if you guys are watching, please chat with me. Say hi, ask me questions. Is there any art supply questions you have for me? I like to teach using any art supplies. So I do have a kit that's on sale supply kit. I'm going to demo it for you guys too tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. If you're watching live, we are going to do more Prime Day deals. So again, the kit has like, I love oil pastels, and I'm a certified art teacher, and I used oil pastels a lot with the kids. Just a really fun product. So I can go back in here and add a little bit more white like that. I could throw some more lines in here if I wanted, right? So that's why it's so important for the color background, because, you know, it's going to come through. And so many people want it to match their house, right? So I get it. Let's make this a little bit bigger. All right, then you're going to go back in and put some dots in there. Dip and dot. So I'm just using the handle. And don't make it look too much like a pattern. And I ran out of white paint, so I'm going to get some more white. Usually I just shake up the bottle. Okay, it has a little cap here like this. And then I just squeeze it onto my plate. Makes a lovely sound. And I'm going to go back to my handle. And this is washable, you guys. It washes off just with gentle soap and water. See that? Dip and dot, dip and dot, dip and dot. Again, you want it to look natural, so don't try not to line up the dots too much like I just did, right? You can overlap it on the lines. Anywhere there's a big open space, you should definitely put some dots. That's a big dot. At this point, it's okay if the paint is thick because this is our top layer. I just wanted the background to be a thin layer so it dried quick. See? And you can always add black to it for a little bit more drama. You could put a little yellow in there if you want to. What do you think? All right, and then, again, I think it could even still be wispier. Right? I feel like the oval needs to be bigger. So I can just overlap that. Look at how the white paint covers right over the rest of it because it's a very thick, nice acrylic paint. Put some more wisps in here. A few over here, a few over here. Now, you know, I do like to find, when do dandelions come out? Like spring, May, maybe? You know, I don't know whoever decided that they're a weed. What determines a weed anyway, you know? I mean, they're a pretty golden yellow color. They're fun to blow. They make me sneeze, but, you know, I know they like to kill them, but they're pretty. All right. So look at, so right here, see how there's no dots? It needs more. So if it doesn't look done or something doesn't look right, it probably needs a little bit more added to it. And it is fun to use the handle. So anytime you're doing dots on a painting, just flip your handle over. And, you know, the smaller the brush is, the smaller the dot's going to be. The larger your brush, the larger the handle, the larger the dot's going to be. So if you wanted to do a variety of sizes, you would use a variety of brushes. What do you think? I think that was, Now, you know what I'm going to do to finish it up? And again, we could be here all night dipping and dotting, dipping and dotting, dipping and dotting. I'm going to finish it up with some black. Okay. And I'm going to do this little, like, just give it a little prong kind of like that. These little kind of seedlings in there. Like that. And again, if you want to add a little bit of black, just again to add some depth to it, you can put some black in here. Give it a little drama if you want. You see that? So it's just adding a little bit more contrast to our painting. And you could always add a word. Wish, dream, believe. What do you think? I can, again, kind of fuzz out my edges here. So a lot of this stuff right now is on sale. Again, if you're watching this live, you guys, it's Tuesday. So the paint is a great price and it's really a good paint. So I would highly recommend it. Yeah, today and tomorrow, you guys, is Amazon Prime Day. So this is the Kali Art acrylic paint. These are 2-ounce bottles. The colors are beautiful. I do use a lot of white. Okay, this is because I've been using them a lot and I'm a messy painter, right? I use purple on this one. This is beautiful. This is Viridian. This is a beautiful color. And then again, it comes with 24 colors. So you guys can use any colors that you want to. It has a pretty gray too. And you can mix the colors. So I'm going to show you my plate. So this is my plate here. But even though you get several different blues, you can always create your own by mixing them together. See that? And come up with your own blue. How pretty is that? You want it lighter, put a little white in there. See that? Look at how pretty it is. Pretty, pretty, pretty. So even though you're getting 24 colors, you guys can create your own colors as well. It's always, always, always fun to explore and try new things. All right. And if you guys watched earlier, we also did this one. Okay. So this is the full dandelion. All right. So you have the full one here, right? Same paint. This one is done a little bit different. We used more blues. We did 2 flowers. The one that I just did here is just like a close-up version of it. This is on canvas, right? So there's just no right or wrong. It's fun art, not fine art. So again, this is the paint that I've been using today. Really great, and it's on sale. So I would recommend this. 24 beautiful colors, bold, good quality. Comes in 2-ounce bottles. And then I also used the brushes. Now, all right, this is how so right now they're soaking in water because I've been using them and they're dirty. The only thing I want you to know is there's no size number on the handle, which is fine. Okay, none of them have the size. They're wonderful. So it comes in this zipper case. That's really, really easy to keep me organized. Okay, if I could find the end of it. Look at that. Easy zip close, easy zip open. 81% off Amazon Prime days. Great deal. Again, there's 15 brushes in here. They're synthetic bristle. I have to wash these out. I just use gentle soap. So when you guys have brushes in the water, it's okay to leave them in there for a little bit of time. You don't want to leave them in there too long. One, what happens to any paintbrush, it loosens the metal part and the handle. It will loosen that the longer it soaks in the water. Also, when it sits in there too long, it dries with the bristle getting crooked. We don't want that. So we want to keep a nice tip to our brush. So when we're done here, I'm going to go wash this with some gentle soap, and then I'm just going to lay it flat. Okay, you can also keep it in the cup with the bristle sticking up, but you don't want to leave it in the cup because again, it's going to dry like that. So I'm a certified art teacher and the kids used to leave it in the cup after they wash them. And then my brushes would have like, they would look like the letter L. So anyway, don't do that. Great products. Make sure you guys get some of these really good pencils too. They're awesome for kids, for teachers, for people that do a lot of writing, sketching, drawing, doesn't matter. Nice, strong pencil. Great eraser on the end of it. And if you guys want, you can paint on wine glasses, which is always really fun. I always like to talk about painting on different surfaces. You do need a special paint when you paint on a different surface. So for this, I use the Folk Art multi-surface paint, which is awesome. I do a lot of wine glass paintings. They're great for bachelorette parties or any kind of party you do. Anyway, you paint on the wine glass and let it set for 2 weeks. You don't have to bake it. And then after 2 weeks, it won't come off at all. So love this, love painting on wine glasses. When you're using the Art acrylic paint, so that's not made for glass. You could paint on wood, you could paint on canvas, you could paint on paper, but when you're talking about a surface like glass or metal, you really need a multi-surface paint. So anybody have any questions for me today? Are you guys doing a lot of shopping on Amazon? What's going on out there? I don't know. I'm busy here painting. So again, this is what I do. I keep it simple. Just a nice little solo cup with my paintbrushes I'm going to wash out. I put everything back in my box to stay organized. You guys, I'm going to be streaming again tomorrow. Extra streaming. Tomorrow's Wednesday, another Amazon Prime Day. I hope you can join me. I really appreciate you following me. I have today and tomorrow, you guys. So I'm going to share with you the stuff that I find that I love that is on sale. So this one for sure is on sale. These are on sale, which is a great deal as well. Sharpies, you guys. I have my Sharpies around here somewhere. There's a great deal on Sharpies. I use Sharpies all the time. Sharpies are awesome to have in every room of your house. If your kids are going back to school, you should put their name inside of their shoes, their shirt, their book bag, because they lose everything. You know, at the end of the year, the lost and found. Did you guys have kids this year where their stuff is in the lost and found and they needed a giant bag to get their stuff back home? So just put your stuff, you know what, I even put my Sharpie name on my water bottles because when I go out, I end up leaving them places. So just put your Sharpie name on everything, but they're a great deal today. So I definitely would grab some Sharpies as well. Anything you can find that's on sale, get it today and tomorrow while you can, because the prices are amazing. So just, I know no one wants to think about back to school, but you should start, right? So again, I will share with you guys the kit later. I think it's in my carousel now. I haven't opened it yet. I'm about to drop it. It's kind of heavy. It's big and heavy, but I'm going to be demonstrating this tomorrow. This is an awesome gift, and it's got a lot of stuff in it. So it's got coloring books and oil pastels, and it's in like an art briefcase, which is really cool. So I think this is a great product to have if you have kids, if you like to create art, or if you want to look for something creative to give to somebody as a gift. I'll share that with you guys again tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Randy and Jim, for helping me behind the scenes. Randy, is there anything else I need to talk about? Thank you, Randy. Randy might come on and are we good? What do you think?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean everything was great. I really can't wait until I get to see you unbox that kit that you're going to showcase tomorrow. I might want to get one for my kid who's going to be going to school soon.
So fun. So we'll feature that tomorrow along with all the other great Amazon Prime Day fun stuff that's on sale, right?
Awesome. I'm excited.
Thanks for your help, Randy. Thanks to you guys for watching. So fun. Anybody else have any questions? Because we're going to sign off and we're going to do it again tomorrow. So I'll see you guys again real soon. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Denyse with Artist at Heart. Bye, you guys.